Hello, Corey from Agenda 31 with a post from Judicial Watch that we'll be using in episode 104 of the Agenda31.org podcast. I do that podcast every week with Todd McGreevy, and we know right now there are all kinds of late-breaking developments in the Hillary email scandal. When I started this, I just heard that the FBI had uncovered additional emails that were not previously disclosed. This was in an investigation of pictures sent to a 15-year-old girl by a device owned by Anthony Weiner. And on that device, there were emails from Hillary Clinton that was enough for the FBI to reopen the investigation. So all this attention to Hillary's emails can be credited to Judicial Watch originally requesting official communications from the State Department when the Benghazi consulate, the Benghazi embassy, the U.S. embassy, was attacked. So tons of information in this. It's really fascinating for anybody who's following this information. I've edited it down to 6 minutes. The full unedited video from Judicial Watch is linked below. Judicial Watch also has a really good book out. You can get it on Amazon. There's a link below that as well. And like he says in the video, it helps keep Judicial Watch going. Judicial Watch is really kind of the corporate man on his own. It's amazing what they've been able to accomplish given the size of the organization going up against a corrupt machine like the Clinton Foundation. So here is the October 7th report from Judicial Watch.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom Fitton, President of Judicial Watch. On Clinton emails galore in terms of information there. And some astonishing and outrageous documents we have about the Obama Syrian Refugee program and the secrecy surrounding that. Clinton emails obviously continue to be in the news this week. The fact that the State Department will post on its website for the first time new Clinton emails that it obtained from the FBI. Emails that include emails, my understanding is, that Mrs. Clinton tried to delete. So this is the first batch of Clinton emails that are to be released, and the government was supposed to process several hundred pages there and watch the State Department's FOIA reading room for the new Clinton emails that are going to come out that Mrs. Clinton didn't want you to see, but you will be able to see thanks to the litigation of Judicial Watch. And all I know is that this is proof that Mrs. Clinton wasn't being forthcoming with the American people when she said all the government emails she had, as far as she knows, was turned over. That's not true. Those government emails, some of which were deleted, and we now know that the FBI was able to recover some of them, and we wouldn't be getting these emails if they weren't government emails. So the mere existence of them shows that Mrs. Clinton's been caught in a falsehood. Prosecutors had previously drafted an indictment of Hillary Clinton, not on the emails, but on the Whitewater scandal. And Judicial Watch's litigation and investigations and Freedom of Information Act requests had uncovered the notes that prosecutors had in setting up their case against Mrs. Clinton over her Whitewater obstruction and lies. But they document how Mrs. Clinton was working for the Rose Law Firm, representing the interests of this shady bank, the Madison Guarantee, and then later, after the bank went belly up, the federal government came in and had the Rose Law Firm represent the interests of the taxpayers who had taken over the bank. Well, the Rose Law Firm was conflicted out from representing. So this is the news thus far. There was a draft indictment of Hillary Clinton that the Obama administration doesn't want you to see because they're trying to protect Hillary Clinton. I can tell you that even if we don't have the draft indictment, there's a whole much more information that we have on this, what went into this draft indictment, available on our website, and you should look at it because it's shocking revelations. And and I follow Whitewater pretty closely, and it was just revelatory to read these materials, the prosecution memos, as to why Hillary Clinton should be prosecuted. A very interesting piece of information we were able to uncover from Vermont, of all places. In Rutland, Vermont, there was this plan to settle Syrian refugees. So we got documents from the mayor of Rutland's office, or Rutland official offices in Vermont, showing that the organization that was getting upwards of $46 million in tax dollars They have $50 million budget. They got $46 million of it from you, the American people. And they're telling the officials up in Rutland not to basically tell anyone about what they're up to. And when they do, it has to be in a controlled environment. This is the executive director of the Vermont Refugee Resettlement Program, and she writes to the mayor earlier this year. I want to share with you the concerns of my headquarters about holding a public forum. If we open it up to anybody and everybody, all sorts of people will come out of the woodwork. They suggest the forum be invite only, but make it as wide as possible. I don't know how that works. Work with Faith Leaders United Way. So here you've got confirmation they don't want average citizens coming out to these forums to learn about and participate in the democratic process. And then later there's an email, actually an earlier email, this official with this, again, federal contractor tells them to keep the Refugee Syria plan secret. Again, this is the key quote. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of not sharing information, even if it's confidentially. Please respect our process. And of course, the mayor there is all in favor of this secrecy and was defending it. You'll see in our release that we'll be highlighting in our weekly update today. But this is the way the Syrian refugee program is. You got your tax dollars, tens of millions of tax dollars, going to an organization who's telling a local official, a key local official, to basically keep out regular Americans from the process and not tell anyone about it in a way that would allow them to effectively oppose the process. So this is secrecy paid for with your tax dollars, and it's corruption, pure and simple. And I'd be remiss if I didn't promote our new great book, the New York Times bestseller, Clean House, Exposing Our Government Secrets and Lies. I'm just going to read you the chapter titles. Chapter 1, Peeling Back the Benghazi Cover-Up. Chapter 2, Hillary Clinton's Private Email Cover-Up. 3, Fast and Furious. 4, Voter Fraud. 5, Obamacare. Congress exempts itself. 6, Using the IRS as a political tool. That's charitable. 7, Immigration and Border Enforcement, the immigration crisis. And 8, Terrorism and the Reckless Actions of the Obama Administration. It provides you a lot of primary information about these scandals, and it will be your go-to guide for the next administration, either what to worry about or what needs to be cleaned up or both. And of course, every purchase goes in some way to support Judicial Watch, so you'd be helping us out as well, in addition to providing yourself a great educational tool.